Hello everyone and welcome to my first video of the new year 2025. I'm Adam and today we're going to be doing the Beast Quest Series 13 Retrospective. So if you're not aware what the retrospectives are, it's a series that I've been doing since early November where I go through each series of Beast Quest and just redo my opinions on the books because the Beast reviews are now 5 years old. Well, most of them are. So I decided that I'll reread the series and give my updated opinions on them. It's just a series which I thought would be a good idea to do because my Beast reviews are probably a little bit outdated, plus a bit cringy to look at, so it's always another thing. But that is pretty much what a retrospective is. It's a Beast review, but with a different name. So in this video, we're talking about Series 13, which is The Warrior's Road. Very well liked series actually, and yeah, I agree. It should be well liked. I think it is a good series. So the beasts that I'm going to be talking about here are Skurek the Forest Demon, Targro the Arctic Menace, Slivka the Cold-Hearted Curse, Linka the Sky Conqueror, Vermok the Spiteful Scavenger, and Koba, Ghoul of the Shadows. So I'll be going through each beast one by one in the normal way that I've been talking about each book in my previous videos. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. And yeah, then after that, I'll do my entire summary over this entire series, as well as the ranking for these books. And then that'll be the end of the video. Just pretty much the whole gist of a retrospective, isn't it? Right, okay. Let's cut to Skurek now. Okay, so first up we have Skurek the Forest Demon. And for each aspect I'm talking about Skurek, I'm going to be talking about his design, the abilities, the fight, and how well he stands out in Battle of the Beasts. So we're going to start off with Skurek, obviously, because he's book one. The design is great and it looks imposing. The abilities are small in numbers and unfortunately not executed very well. The slime ability for Skurek was very overused though, but I do think it was executed all right. However, the whole thought process of him abducting children was a bit odd. And yeah, but otherwise than that, the abilities were overused. The whole abducting children was odd, but also a nice touch, but I don't think it really saved the beast. And the fight wasn't really a long one, and it also ended quicker than it started. Yeah. And overall, it's not as great as I remembered it being, because I remember speaking quite high praises about this book, and now I'm just disappointed, really. In Battle of the Beast, Skurek died in round one for both rounds, so that's pretty much all I can say there. And I can't see this beast winning any future tournaments. Up next, we have Targro the Arctic Menace. Design is the weakest of the series, but it's still quite imposing though. Abilities are also small in numbers and nothing really sticks out, although he does have a good hunting method of burrowing himself under the snow and then jumping out like a normal fox normally catches their prey, which I thought was actually quite a nice touch. The fight, however, was very action-packed, and was being a short one like Skurek's, I feel it was more entertaining than Skurek's though. Battle of the Beast, Targro also died in round one for both tournaments, so nothing really to talk about there. However, though, was my opinion on Targro when I did my Beast Review in Series 13 was pretty much all negative. I can't say I really like Targro now, but what I can say is though he's got some recognition from me, and this time I didn't have the input of Jack to have me grow appreciation for Beast, which I originally didn't like. But yeah, I'm starting to appreciate Targro, and I do look forward to using him in future Battle of the Beast tournaments. Book 3 is Slivka the Cold-Hearted Curse. Great design, most intimidating so far in this series. Abilities are simple but used effectively, and makes him a looming threat. Yeah, it turns out Slivka's a he, not a she. The immunity to lava and his strength and durability were the best shown abilities. Yeah. The fight is also the best so far. It didn't feel rushed at all and had some tense moments, which makes the beast the best so far. However, with the fight though, compared to the next few fights in the series, this one was actually a bit tame, I guess. Where you got one which was on the side of a cliff face, one that was in a ruined city, which is also a unique environment, and then you got, well, the last one which is in a castle. So Sivkus is probably the more boring as the fights in the last four, but I will say it's still a good fight. It's just not as unique of an environment which can hook a reader in. I will say though, Slivka is still a great beast, and actually the first beast of this series to not die in round one for both tournaments. I believe in round one of the OG tournament he died, but in round two of the new generation, all generation tournament, sorry, that's when he died. So yeah, he made it one round further. But yeah, Slivka I do think is a great beast and has the recognition he deserves. I do think we do need to call him by his actual gender, which is a he, not a she. But I don't know why I thought he was a she. And I'm still saying she. So anyway, moving on. Book number 4, we have Linka the Sky Conqueror. Probably tied with Slivka for great design. While its abilities are more unique with the poisonous tail, I feel it was also I feel it was also used to its full potential. Standout abilities are her poisonous tail and her beak, which is sharp enough to cause rock slides. So great, as well as flight, obviously. The fight stands out as being a tense aerial battle on the side of a cliff face, which makes it stand out from the entire series for how unique that fight is. Because this is the first fight of this series to actually take place not in the air, not on land, but on the side of a cliff face, which I thought was actually quite nice. And it does go into the air at one point as well, and then eventually, yeah, went back onto the cliff face where Linka was being drawn down onto the ground, and even at the end of the fight, Linka yielded to Tom and then tried to catch him off guard one last time, which Tom obviously saw coming, and then Lincoln conceded defeat. So I would say she's quite a clever beast for being able to, for showing that she conceded defeat but still give one last attempt, which I thought was actually quite a nice touch. Battle of the Beast, she died in round one for the old generation tournament and died in round two for the new all generation tournament. Same thing with Slivka, but I did have a good plan going on with Linka and Slivka and Koba. However, because two of them died in round two, it wasn't really allowed to be used, which is a bit of a shame. But I do look forward to using Linka in future tournaments because I do think she has quite a lot of potential hidden in her. Book number 5 is Vermok the Spiteful Scavenger. Uh, to start off, really good design. I love the tusks, tail, and detail on Vermok's entire body. His abilities are simple but used well. The standout abilities are his cunning and his ability to maneuver his way around a lost city was with little to no issue. The fight was broken into multiple parts, starting in the sewer where Vermok get introduced to Tom and Eleanor, sorry, and then it moved up to a half-destroyed building where Tom could have meted his outside the sewer where Tom could have met his death, but Silver came in to help him out. Then it moved to a half-destroyed building where Vermok was fighting a hooded figure, which turned out to be a future version of Tom. And when Vermok escaped there and the building collapsed, it finished at the high point in the city, which is an aqueduct. Which, if you don't know what that is pretty much a tall wall in going over the city with a bit of a well inside of it where water is. And that was where the final part of the battle took place. And I thought it was really clever to use different levels of the city to be different levels and areas of the city for the fight. And I do actually like this fight now. Battle of the Beast, he died in round one for both tournaments, I believe. Not sure about the old generation tournament, but yeah. But I will say, whilst my Beast review on Vermok was neutral, and Vermok wasn't in my top 100 Beast Quest beasts from my Christmas special video, I will say Vermok does deserve to be on that one top 100 now, because I I found appreciation for him by rereading his book, and I do think he is much better than what I originally thought he was. So yeah, Vermok, fantastic beast actually, and I do look forward to using him in future tournaments because I do think he has a lot of potential. And last but not least is Koba, Ghoul of the Shadows. Okay, first of all, fantastic design. It's intimidating and it's brilliant at the same time. Abilities are great and used effectively, especially the shape shifting and the castle shifting. Honestly, all of it's incredible. The fight spans the entire book, with Koba being relentless on Tom by shapeshifting into multiple people and attacking him in those forms, such as Taladon, Freya, Mark, Adaro, and Malvel, to name a few, honestly. Honestly, it's just incredible. A near perfect beast. And I would say the only downside of Koba is that I wish it was longer and I wish Koba transformed into other beasts, really, because that would have been more fun. In Battle of the Beasts, Koba is one of the standout beasts in the entire series for having a reputation going into it with how strong he is. And then going into the Battle of the Beast tournaments where he's able to shapeshift into other beasts and change the environment around him. Which, yeah, we don't know if he can actually do that, but if he can shapeshift a castle, I kind of took that to mean he can change the environment around him, which I think will be fun because he won't be restricted to the Warrior's Road. Uh, but yeah, I do enjoy using this beast in Battle of the Beasts. He died in round two of the old generation tournament and round three in the new generation, all generation tournament. I do want him to win a tournament eventually, but if he doesn't, I'll be fine with it. But it is fun to use him every time I can, which is good enough in its own point. Koba is easily the best beast in this series, and there's really no competition about it. But let's cut back to me. And with that, that is series 13 done. Obviously, by looking at the reviews that I've done on series 13 and compared to the reviews that my good friend Lucas has done on series 13, as well as Jack, when it comes to doing a beast reviews are done a lot quicker than story reviews, which I've only just noticed myself, which is kind of fun. Overall, series 13, uh, before this point, I've mentioned this series being one of the darkest seasons there are, starting halfway through the season with Slivka, and just getting darker and darker as the series went on. On a reread, though, the darkness didn't exactly start until Vermok, and even then, I wouldn't say it was as dark as I remember it being. So, I then there was a whole Tom being evil, which was only at its full in Koba at the very end in chapter 10. And the only time where Tom was a bit unlikable was in Targro. Every other time he just had a doubt, like one doubt per book on whether he can actually do this quest or not. And then that's it. Like, I don't know why it somehow got into my head and other people's head of how this series got very dark after Targro, but I would say it's not. Have I just grown and not see it as being dark? But I don't know if I'm missing something here, but I do feel like this is like there's something's missing. I do feel like something's missing here. Other than that, though, I do believe this is still one of the best seasons of Beast Quest, regarding definitely Beast perspective. On the story perspective, I think it's good. However, with the darkness in it, I wouldn't say it's as dark as I remember it being, which can hinder someone's enjoyment of the series. But taking that aside, it's a great series. Honestly, I do really like this series, and I'm glad I reread it actually, because I got to be reminded of some good abilities which I've forgotten about, as well as a newfound liking for uh one beast. Every beast in this series, I would say, ranges from good to great, and even the good beast here does have a one saving grace, at well, two saving graces, and that's enough that needs it to be made to be a good beast. So with that, doing the ranking, my least favorite of the series is now Skurrik the Forest Demon. So the only saving graces this beast has is its design looking very imposing, but also the whole side plot which Skurrik does, where he traps kids in a sap-like sack and suspends them up in trees. So yeah, kidnapping children. Well done, Skurrik. That's a bit a bit odd, but all right. That is his only two saving graces, and I do think he is an all right beast, all right starter. But I mean, you saw from my one of my previous videos, I don't think Skirik's one of the stronger starter beasts, which is a bit disappointing with beasts of this caliber being on the Warriors Road, which are actually banned from being resurrected because of how dangerous they are. And then you've got Skurrik being relatively like underwhelming. Fifth best is now Targro the Arctic Menace. I have grown a newfound appreciation for Targro due to the whole fox hunting ability where he burrows himself underground and then jump pounces on them, which I thought was nice. I also, this is where I would say the darkness did start and then it just went on a bit of a break. But it's darker than previous seasons, but I wouldn't say it's as dark as I imagined dark to be. But it definitely starts in Targro. Not to mention, I do appreciate this beast's fight being better than what Skirix was. It was also a little bit rushed, but I did enjoy it with the. For once, I enjoyed an icy terrain fight, and it ended with an avalanche, which, yeah, is a bit of a cop out saying, okay, Targro can't be killed by Tom, let's have the environment kill Targro. Okay, bit of a cop out, but it was still a good one. I still enjoy the fight. I wouldn't say it's a great fight, I'll just say it's a good one. Better than Skurrik by a long shot. If it was only a little bit longer, I think I would have enjoyed it more. Fourth place is actually Slivka the Cold Hearted Curse. Okay, I really do like Slivka. Don't get me wrong. These remaining four beasts I do like and are definitely the high points of Series 13. However, the only thing that which draws Slivka down from being any higher up is that the fights in the next three books are simply better. And yes, I'm fully aware that is my opinion, but like at the end of the day, my opinion is gospel to me. So so the fight here was a bit more, it was entertaining, had some high stakes, especially with the lava and such, but the environment in the other books just felt more unique and tense in their own way. I do understand the tension with Slivka, but I just don't feel it as much. Not to mention, Slivka got trapped by having his tongue being welded to a volcano, and then he only conceded defeat when Tom cut Slivka's tongue off. And then Slivka's like, "Yep, okay, I'll call it a day. See ya." So that was a little bit underwhelming. Would have liked to see an actual fight, but then again, that just goes to show how powerful Slivka is. He only conceded defeat when his life got saved. And even then, if he's immune to fire or lava, then would he actually die? I don't know. But yeah, I like this book. Don't get me wrong, but it is a little bit underwhelming with the fight compared to the next three. Third place, we have Vermok the Spiteful Scavenger. So, like I said, the fight here is one of my favorites of the series, and the whole abilities as well, which are simple but still well done. I like how cunning this beast is, and it's kind of ironic that he can be easily outsmarted. But I never really thought I would say in one of my videos that I like a rat like beast, and I can now say I like a rat like beast, and his name is Vermok. He doesn't even have any fur. So yeah, Vermok I really found a newfound appreciation for, and I love it. I do wish I put this beast in my top 100. It's a shame I didn't, but if I ever do a top 100 again, probably won't. This beast will be on it. However, though, I can't put him above Linker. Linker is a beast which I personally adore and I've always liked. I just never had the moment to time or opportunity to just express how much I like this beast. And I feel like Linker's got to be second place because it's obviously not the best. We know who the best is. But Linker, I do enjoy. I love Linker's abilities. I love the fight. The fight is probably, I'm going to say it's tied with Vermox for a good fight. And yeah, I I know this beast is probably a little bit underwhelming compared to Vermok or Slivka, but I can't help it. I love this beast, and I want to have every opportunity that I have to just say how much I like this beast. I think it's a very unique concept on having a bird with no legs, but instead have a poisonous tail like a scorpion. Not to mention that beak as well. Yeah, I'll say it's good. It also the whole setting of that book reminds me of the Wakumi episode from What's New Scooby Doo, with the whole out giant bird attacking the gang on the cliff face, which I thought was actually quite nice. Which I thought was nice. Probably not the intentional reference, but hey, if it was a reference, I caught it. That's coming from someone who actually likes that episode as well. So yeah. But of course, we know who the best is of this series. There's no sugarcoating it. I should have just revealed this one first. Yeah, it's Cobra Ghoul of the Shadows. So this is one beast which I'm confident in saying that everyone has as their favorite of this series, and I can see why. Cobra is a fantastic beast. If there's anything that I think is negative about this beast, it's actually not really his fault, but more like my fault with how I narrate him in Battle of the Beasts, where he dies quite early on. Which is a shame, but it's fun every time I get to use him, and considering he dies early, I get to use him sparingly, which is something I look forward to every time I use him in the tournament. But in an actual book, though, I would have loved to see him transform into a beast. Let's say Furno or Epos, or maybe one which Tom killed as well. So maybe Trillion, Sting, maybe. Well, Sting didn't exactly die. We don't know that for a fact. But yeah, one of those. It would have been great to see that. I would have loved it. But really, there's really no positives with Koba, and as I said, he's a near perfect beast. But yeah, with that, that's series 13 done. We're now done with the old generation of retrospectives. So with this entire series, like I said, it was a little bit underwhelming on a reread, considering I remember it being so dark and it doesn't feel as dark. But the darkness started with Targro is a bit more tamer in Slivka and Linker. It comes back. It comes back in Vermok, but around the same stage as Targro. And then with Cobra, it's around that same stage again, but then it goes up when Cobra transforms into Taladon, transforms into Malva, transforms into Mark, and then the green eye of Cobra possesses Tom and makes him evil. That is the darkest the series gets, and it's at the very end. But I do enjoy how the series ends with the guards in Avantia's in King Hugo's palace, as well as Tom, Adaro, and everyone else yelling, "Long live King Hugo! Long live the King of Avantia!" Honestly, I think that was a great end. But then again, you're talking to someone who actually likes the Sword and the Stone, and that ended saying, "Hail King Arthur! Long live the King!" So, but yeah, with that, that is my Series 13 retrospective done. Relatively quick compared to previous ones, but that's all for this time. If you like what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe, press the notification bell down in the corner below. I'm going to take a little bit of a break from the retrospectives. Let let me catch up with everything that's happened in the old generation tournament, but also get other videos out of the way. And then I will continue the retrospectives with series 14. But I don't know when I will actually do it again, but I will do eventually, just not now. But yeah, don't feel like I'm ditching the series, but I just want a little bit of a break from the retrospectives. Okay, so over that, I already said the outro, so I'll see you next time.